Hello and welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Today is day 10 of the 31 Days of Tarot. What that is a blog sprint. Sorry, I can't speak today. Hosted by another wonderful YouTube reader named Ethony. And what it is she issues a list of one question per day throughout the month of January, and it pertains to tarot and oracle. And what you do is you just do a very brief video post each day that talks about each of the questions. And today's question is, what decks are you looking to reconnect to in 2020? And it looks like the number 5 is a theme. We've had a few posts that were, what are your top 5 of this, top 5 of that? And so today I was able to come up with 5, and I think I'm just going to stick with that. But these are the 5 decks that I really do want to reconnect with in 2020. To jump right in, the first deck is what we call meditation healing cards. And all of the bags you see here, I sew a majority of the bags I create. 2 of them I did not, but this deck I did make the bag. But what this is actually a book. It's kind of like a set that comes with a book as well as the cards. And it's called the Meditation Healing Cards. And what it is you've seen me use it on a few videos, and I definitely, again, I really want to reconnect with these more personally as well as with videos. But what it is it's just a really wonderful image and keyword. But on the back, it gives you affirmations. Like it gives you, it kind of says, like warmth, cultivating the quality of warmth can help us project a healthy balance of emotions. And I just really loved the images. They have images like kindness, unself-consciousness, relaxation. There's really unique ones. Like there's one that says, there's one that's more, self-care related. I really like the diet one. That one tends to come up. Ritual listening. I really like that. When it, there's quite a few, messages out there that you just need to kind of stop and listen. And it's interesting. There's one in here that's in particularly, I really love the priorities one. But there's one in here that's called, I think it's called sabbatical. Or it's basically about taking a trip. It's really, I love it. Positive thinking, movement. They just have really wonderful keywords, and all of the meditations on the back are excellent. See, I really love this one, motivation. I love all of them, really. Sorry, But there's just really unique keywords in it. Here we go, pilgrimage. That was the one. And what it is again, on the back, there's little mantras. There's like chants you can say to yourself, and whether you practice mindfulness or meditation, it's, may I be well prepared in mind and body for the journey ahead. And, may I use the wisdom gained through meditation to overcome challenges in every area of my life. So these are just beautiful cards. And I really want to connect with them more on a personal level and in my readings. So you probably, equanimity. May I be steady in this period of change. Okay. May I be present in this period of difficulties. Oh, and we got the motivation card right on top. But yes, so that's the first deck. Now, all of the decks names and descriptions are in the description box below. The second deck, I also sewed the bag. I made it very color coordinated, which I tend to do. But this one is called the Essential Meditations deck. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking well today. I wasn't feeling good yesterday, and now it's just kind of like carrying over. But the Essential Meditation is interesting because what it is it's very kind of neutral images, very, very peaceful. I actually, this is kind of a really vintage deck. I think it came out in like 2002 or 2003. And what it is just like the first deck, it does have like kind of a basic image, but on the back it also has an entire exercise. And more than just a mantra, like here it'll say sit on the floor with your back straight, and it'll kind of put you through like an entire little exercise. And I've found that these meditations are just so peaceful. Like some of them are very simple, like staring at a candle flame, or like this one is seek guidance from your inner star, sit with your elbows on a table and rest your face in your hands, cupping your palms over your eyes. Feel the warmth of your hands permeating your eyes. Visualize a star in your forehead just above and between the eyes. The star radiates positive energy through your consciousness and fills you with confidence to be directed towards the right choices. So you see, it's just like the other one. It's lovely, lovely messages. And I actually got introduced to this deck by a reader that I follow here on YouTube called the Spirit of Terra. And she's just she's a very sweet reader, and she's very in tune. Her messages are very soulful, and I loved it. I remember she had done a read with these cards, and I actually reached out to her to get the name of the deck, and she was so sweet and replied to me. But we had gotten this card, and I remember her saying, "This reminds me of soup, and it reminds me of that song by Sade. I want to cook you a soup that warms your soul." And I just thought that was she's so just like me. She kind of reads into things, and again, really sweet reader. If you get a chance to check out her channel, please do, but I'll go ahead and leave that one on top. But she was very kind, and she replied to me and told me what the deck name was, and I lucked out. And I did have to, it is a vintage deck. I don't think it's being produced new anymore, but you can almost always find it like maybe on there's a lot of used bookstores like Alibri, or I found that one on eBay for like $5. Now the next deck, I did not make this bag. I bought it on Etsy, but the seller of the bag was so sweet. First off, this is called the SoulFlower Oracle, like soul, like SOUL. And what it is this is an independent deck, and it's all of the artwork and everything. The artwork, the keywords, the phrases are all written by the same artist. And they're based on her garden. And just like my other deck, I know in my goodies video, my holiday goodies video, and we do have, I knew we had hydrangea. I love hydrangea. It has a very deep meaning for me. But this deck, it has lovely, lovely messages. And I got it online, and I actually, when you go to her website, she has the option here. I'll grab it real quick. I got a buffalo sitting on it right now. Like, I'm not kidding, like I have a real buffalo. Sorry. It's this is my desk. Later there's going to be a question that talks about your personal ritual, and but sorry, going to stop blabbing. But she sells these little, in addition to the cards, she sells these little stands, and this one's all wood, and it's really cute. It's not that much more, and but I went ahead and purchased it, and what it is that it has beautiful messages like Aster, like a star illuminating your way. Aster helps provide clarity and focus so that you can discover appropriate channels of communication and self-expression without anxiety or self-consciousness. Aster helps you to manifest your creative ideas, translating inspiration into physical form. Yeah, so similar to the meditation cards, it kind of just gives you kind of a theme, and the artwork is gorgeous. The backs of the decks are all the same image, but there's a gradient. They're like different, and there's not any, like some cards have categories. There's no categories to it. It's just when the deck comes alphabetical, all of the flowers are alphabetical, and it's just the card back just goes in a beautiful gradient. It goes from green to blue to kind of a light spring green, and the bag matches. That just blew my mind. And again, this is not, the bag is not made by the same person. The bag I purchased off Etsy, and what was so kind is actually the inside of the bag has kind of a purple hue, but the lady who sent me the bag off Etsy, she sent me this beautiful green stone. I forget the name of it. I figured out what it was, but and I usually use it with the cards, but yeah, I really do want to reconnect it with this deck, because the images, rosemary, clarity, and yeah, and I try to use the stand when when I'm pulling those cards. I'll go ahead and, let's go ahead and pull one. Sure, why not? Why not? What is the theme for our reading today? Oh, thank you. Lightheartedness. That's the one that kind of slammed here. We'll go with that one. Also stability, chamomile. But we got zinnia, lightheartedness, spontaneity. There you go. We all need a little spontaneity in our life, right? Yes, there we go. All right, so that was the third deck, and again, I just, there's another reader here on YouTube. Her name is Katie Flowers, and she is also an excellent channel. And what it is, she always talks about, she does kind of periodic purges of her decks. I don't have that much willpower yet, but I'm getting there. And it's almost like she talks about like her favorite decks as being, when you're about to do a purge, or you decide that you might trade or sell some of your decks, the big question is, it's almost kind of like when you go through your closet. It's kind of like doing a Marie Kondo on your cards, honestly. It's where you actually kind of say, do I use these cards every day? And it was interesting. I kind of asked myself that question when it came to like the top 5 decks, or what was it, the decks that I most use. I really had to ask myself the question, okay, do I use this deck every day? And that's probably a great exercise. But if you ever get a chance to check out her channel, Katie Flowers is great. She really talks about how to manage your collection where it doesn't get overwhelming. And that is one of the questions you always want to ask. It's like, okay, because when it comes to questions like this, it's funny. It's like, if I'm not connecting with a deck on a regular basis, do I have too many decks? And, I know that's a scary question to ask. Believe me, I don't want to let any of them go. Because the other thing is, you do sometimes get the giveaway remorse, right? You sell and then later you're like, oh, why did I do that? There's some decks I would never ever part with, but the next deck is actually one that I do use on the regular. I just haven't in a while, so this would not be one that I part with. And I did make the bag. I actually need to reinforce the seam, because I have a sewing machine now. I'm so excited I have a sewing machine. But I'm sorry, I'm rambling a lot this session. Sorry, guys. But the decks are really beautiful, and this is an Etsy deck, and this is called Oracle of the Echoes. And the author, just like the SoulFlower, the author does all of the artwork. Now, it's interesting, when I talked about, if you watch my video on the most anticipated decks of 2020, I talked about how I don't have very many edgy decks. Like, I don't like flat out dark decks. And, it isn't that I'm against it. I believe me, I'm pretty edgy when I read. I don't mind, kind of. But what I liked about this deck is that this deck has an equal mix of really kind of all of the images are inspirational, but she really does, she does have a few images like warning, chaos. I think, isn't that amazing? And she also has decks, she has things like shadow self. I think she even has one like sorrow. She has, here we go, self-sabotage. And it's funny, a lot of these decks, then she's got these beautiful images like courage and decisions. And it's amazing. It's like, anytime I want a real read. Like when I sit down, and she has a card in here that says depression. But what I thought was beautiful was, and it's beautiful because she has cards like self-involved. And it's funny, I'll be throwing a deck about either inquiry about a person or inquiry about myself, and it gets really honest, it just gets really honest, discord, conflict, if you get that with like the Five of Wands or, loss. And the images are absolutely moving. She's got these lovely messages, but, it's an absolutely gorgeous deck. She really keeps it very real. She has cards that talk about trust, that talk about fear, balance, transformation, and just all of it. It's just this equal mix. And honestly, only 1/4 of them are the real kind of tough love cards. And even then, I appreciate that, because you need that, right? You need to have, sorry, we keep going out of focus, guys. You need to have a deck that really gets real. Here you go. See, this one, whenever you're feeling blue and you really, and it's beautiful because she also, it never fails. I might get one of those kind of deeper cards, but then it'll immediately be followed up by something like hope, or this one is, or healing, but one of my favorite cards in this deck that I really love is that she's got symbiosis, and that just looks like two people cuddled up with each other, doesn't it? And it's funny, I've been getting that message. Ooh, hold up. Okay, I pulled this just last night. Okay, break for a minute. This is a different deck. This was one of my holiday goodies, but look at this. Symbiosis. Holy crap, guys. All right, honestly, these posts are getting real about me. I'm sorry to share, but oh my God. Okay. I think I need to reconnect with this deck clearly, because it's speaking to me right now. It's speaking to me. All right, guys. All right, is there a card that we can throw that is not going to tell everyone my business, but would, what can I reconnect with? What can I reconnect with? We're getting real. We're getting real here, guys. No judgment. Here we go. Thank you. See, very kind. Very kind. There we go. Transformation. Okay. I'm going through some transformation, y'all. Yeah, here, we'll go ahead and we'll put that right on top. But it's a lovely deck, and it gets real. It has real cards. It has inspirational cards. It has very encouraging cards, and all of it keeps it real. And she has a digital guidebook that goes along with it, and the messages. So it's not a traditional, little white book, but you can download it to the docs on your phone and reference it, or there's the PDF if you really want to print it out. But it's very insightful as well. So it does include a guidebook. But that is the Oracle of Echoes, and again, all of the details are in the description box below. Now, the last deck that I really wanted to reconnect with, and it's funny, I'm really kind of shocked that I've gotten away from this. This is just a Brighton jewelry bag that I didn't make this one, but I did have these little flowers that just came as like a embellishment on like some kind of free gift with purchase from Christmas like 10 years ago. The flowers looked so perfect. I mean, tell me, they look so again, I'm a Libra, so I have to coordinate everything. But and I have a little dragonfly that I keep with it. That's my little dragonfly cleanses my. But what this is the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. And this author is the same one of the messages from your animal guides, the one that has the Roadrunner. And that one's a really great deck too. But this one has it has kind of very earth, and there's quite a bit of Native American kind of symbolism. You have things like island and mountain and Gaia, nurturing. This one's an odd man out. What it is that there's a few decks that I've gotten like extra cards from artists and things like that, that just happen to be the same size of the deck. I'll put this to the side for now, but what I do is I put, since it's the same size card, I put it in, and I actually have 3 decks that have that. Yeah, here we go, Winter Solstice, Reflection. So we're already past the winter solstice, but we had a snow not too long ago. So, but this really does, it has really beautiful messages. The keywords are very powerful, and I like the fact that it has seasons. It has, summer, spring, and then the meanings really really speak to me. Ebb and flow. Just like my other decks, I'm probably going to do this more towards Earth Day, but I definitely have some more kind of really more. I'm not sure of the term. Please let me know if I'm missing the term for it. It's not Celtic or Druid, but it's when you really have a kinship with the earth, when you feel grounded. Those kind of themes, I'm not sure. I'm slacking today, guys. I'm sorry, but if you know the word I'm looking for, please comment, and also please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not. I truly appreciate the support. But the other thing that I like about this deck is that it does have things like Green Man, and it's funny. The cards like that pull up certain themes, really make me think and make me look up, like if I'm not real familiar with the Green Man mythology, I'll look it up. But I love the cards like Communion and Shaman or Shaman. There's one in here that's Cave, and I always think that's wonderful. I love Fog too, because sometimes I'll get that when I'm throwing a little Norman card and you get clouds. And it has really great cards like Volcano, Volatility. So normally if you're in kind of a scrappy mood, it has a very diverse and actually I even love the definition of clouds here. It doesn't even mean confusion here, it just means shape-shifting, and what a great symbolism for that. When you think about it, sometimes we see the same symbols so many times over and over again that we never try to give it a new definition. And sometimes when you have, I get the whale a lot but yeah, it's got like iceberg, submerged, but I just think it's really interesting, and it has really wonderful. There you go, Sanctuary. So sometimes if you get something like the Hermit and then you get Cave, it could also mean that you're feeling overstimulated, that I always call it when I've had enough peopling for the day, when I've had met my quota of being social, and you need to get away, you need to pull away and just be in your own mind for a little while. But yeah, I really do love throwing these cards. Wake up call. It just really, the keywords really speak to me, and it gives a very clear message, and it contributes to a reading very, very nicely. But so that's it. These are the decks that I really want to connect with and reconnect with in 2020. Well, I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope you can stop back by tomorrow, day 11. Oh, a powerful day. And day 11 of the 31 Days of Tarot. And tomorrow we're going to be answering the question, what is your favorite high priestess and why? So I hope you can join me for that, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you then. Bye.